Well, it just doesn't end on Ice Age TV Adventures Day. What am I doing now? What have I found now? The word of the day is found on my morning conversation. So what have I found now? I found a lost Mustang Mach-E that never gets driven. So what do you think I'm going to do? What do you think the Ice Age guy is doing? Shirley, what do you think I'm up to? Stay tuned. Another adventure is on its way. Okay, getting in the Mustang Mach-E. And in so many ways, some people are like, no, I wouldn't give up that Mustang Mach-E, being that you're getting half the value of it. It's worth half. That's no lie. The trade value of this car is half of what I paid for it. Be unbelievable. Biggest appreciation. Some people be like, then why the heck are you buying another electric vehicle? Well, because if you're looking around my driveway, I like trucks. Have you noticed? And the thing about this vehicle here is, I mean, it is a fun vehicle. So, hey, let's get the dogs in. Come on, Julia. Get the pups in. So, it's a fun vehicle. But there's a big but there because it's a very low range vehicle. I mean, sincerely, this is a vehicle, it's a 200-mile vehicle. Sure, 220 in ideal conditions, but for the most part, it's not that great, and then it's a small vehicle. So for me, I'm going to have an opportunity to take this and trade it for another F-150 Lightning truck, which I'd much rather prefer to have. Go on, get in. Go in, Tank. Go on, get in. Get in. Go on, get in. And so, for me, I just got a deal done with me giving this up for an F-150 truck. And they're discounting the F-150 truck to offset all of the negative loss money of having this car here, and it never gets driven. This car was purchased, no lie, over 2 years ago. I got it from my wife. She doesn't like it. Even the point that in Virginia, you're supposed to get your car inspected every year. This car didn't even get inspected last year. It just sits. So for me, I think it's a great idea. I know some people are like, yeah, but it's an electric vehicle. Why are you getting another electric vehicle? Well, let me share with you why. Now, in all sincereness, if I could get a Bronco Wildtrak, trade it for this, would I consider that? I would. Let's make sure I have all the right keys. What's incredible, this car is on. So realize or not, this car's ignition is on. Would you ever know it? You would not. And so right now, I'm just making sure I get all the right keys for this vehicle. And I believe I do. So let's go ahead and get in as the kid goes off to her yoga experience. And I drive over to Kuhn's Baltimore Ford to do another deal where it just doesn't end. It just doesn't end. Of the Iceman. So what number is this? Is this number 7 or number on the vehicle purchase this year when I said in January that I would not be doing this? That I would not be buying a bunch of cars this year? And here we did. The kid probably forgot something. I don't know what she forgot. Which she knows I'm right behind her, hopefully. So I got the key for dog, personalized tag for her, and how about that? I don't know what she's doing, but this is going to be a problem. She's going to probably have me run to the gate. I don't really know what she's doing. She's like confused. As we leave the property, and Kiefer's all alone, and what does he destroy the house? I don't want to know, but you know, this Bronco, the Bronco Wildtrak, I think is just a really great vehicle. I can't emphasize enough on how, and I put a nice little exhaust on it. And so as the kid, she's into this hot yoga. You know what the hot yoga is? Sounds pretty cool. I should be doing it, right? Probably help me to sweat off some pounds of weight, right? That's the idea. So now here we are in the Mustang Mach-E. This is my second one. So I literally bought a blue, grabber blue one. And then I turned around like in January of 2022. And then I turned around and bought one of these for my wife. And this really is a very fun, fast vehicle. It really is. So see here, this vehicle has a 153 mile range. And believe it or not, this car has not been driven probably for like the last 3-4 months, at least. I would have to guess. So the battery has lost energy just over time of sitting outside in the environment, I think. I could be wrong about that. I just can't. Too many cars, too many things to do. But the car, overall, it really is a cool, high-performance feeling type of car. By the way it drives, not by the way it sounds, but with the four-wheel motors on this car, it's very fast, and it's very aggressive, and it's very confident. So in some ways, it's like, yeah, don't get rid of this, but here's the thing. I have much nicer ICE cars that I'm more enjoying, and this here, it's a small, really, I mean, interior, sure, it's a comfortable car, but for me, working out of my vehicles, it becomes kind of more challenging, and it's the range. It's the range. Where literally, you just can't go that far. So for me, I have an opportunity to pick up a 2023 Ford F-150 Lightning truck that has the extended range on it. It has the leather interior package, and it's basically $20,000 off. So I can basically just swap a payment for a payment. That's all I'm doing. I'm just, in some ways, I'm surprised they got the deal done, just because of Ford Motor Credit has so much stuff with me. And so, yeah, for me, the reason I'm doing this is because I have more confidence in the F-150 truck being a more usable vehicle. And my wife would actually drive that vehicle. She'd probably feel more confident in it because that vehicle has a 320-mile range when you plug it in. 320 is pretty typical, maybe 330, but I usually see 320. Versus this is like a 220, 230 range. But once you get out in the real world and start driving these things, that range really starts to disappear on you. And the challenge is, when you're traveling in rural areas, when you're at 150 miles and you only have, let's just say, 50 miles of range left, you have to start getting concerned about where you're going to charge the vehicle. So you're going to probably pull over and charge your car at 150 miles. That's kind of what really plays out typically once you start traveling these vehicles. And depends where you are. I mean, down there in Tennessee, there's not a lot of charging stations. I've got a whole charging station thing at my mother-in-law's house, which that's a whole other story if you really watch my channel, which now that's been disabled, for the record. Yeah, that's a story that you can't even make up. Now, my mother-in-law's calling me and saying that there's a spy camera in the garage. Yeah, she's having the police come to her house. I'm not making this stuff up. Maybe it's a real follower of my channel. I'm sure they'll get antics out of this. I'm not lying. My wife says to me this morning, get out of bed. I know, I'm getting off course from talking about this car, but I got to tell you the stories of the day. And the stories of the day is, here's my wife telling me this morning, when I got out of bed, my mother wants you to call her. And usually when your mother-in-law wants you to call her, usually it's not like, hey, how's it going? It's, what have I done? I mean, does anyone know these stories? Yeah, if you're a married man, you know that story well. What have I done, or what am I going to be doing? So sure enough, I called her after I got done making my video this morning. I mean, whether you realize or not, by the time I make this video in the morning, and then I get everything in order to go to work, I mean, it's like the morning is gone. It is gone. So I didn't even get a hold of my mother-in-law until like 11 o'clock this morning. And so she says, do you have a camera in the garage? I'm like, I don't have a camera in the garage. Oh my gosh, already I'm in this 5 o'clock ass traffic. I'm already here. So this can't be. I just can't believe that I'm already in stop and go traffic at 3:30 on this road that is one of the worst frickin' roads, that Maryland and Virginia will do nothing to change it. It's just so bad. So yeah, part of me is like, why don't I just go do this tomorrow? And I want to revolve my day around the dealership tomorrow. That's why. And that's what's going to happen. If I do it tomorrow, then I'm going to revolve the whole freaking day around the dealership. This guy here is going to think that this guy here, I don't know, it gets confusing. You know, everybody's, I'm trying to let this guy in. Go on, buddy, go on. So anyways, so my mother-in-law was asking me, you know, what if I put a camera in the garage? I'm like, there's not a camera in that garage. I'm like, there's a camera in that garage? She's like, there's a spy camera in the garage. This is down in Tennessee. Okay, so here's the way. So, has there already been an accident? Oh, geez. So I'll be fighting all the way to get to Baltimore and fighting all the way to get back, but whatever. So anyways, my mother-in-law, I'm like, I don't know. Where are you seeing this spy camera? So she starts describing an area, and I'm like, over in the wall where all the paint is and all the other stuff, blah, blah. Yeah. And I said, is this thing like a white thing? She says, yeah. I said, that's your motion detector for your alarm system. She's like, no, it's not. There's a camera in that thing. I'm like, that thing's been there for, I think that thing's been there for quite a long time. So now I'm like, that's part of your alarm system to alert you if you have your alarm on that somebody's in the garage moving around. But she swears up and down, no, it's a camera. So she's having the police come to her house today and do a whole scan of her house to see if she can find any more spy cameras in the house. I mean, what is going on? Oh my gosh. So anyways, the adventures of the mining, the lightning, the truck. Yeah, I know, I hear you. I can really hear those on the other side of this camera. Like, man, why do you want to get yourself buried into another electric vehicle? You're just going to take this vehicle, bury the negative equity into another truck. Well, 2 years ago, actually, I would have been paying the same amount of money for the vehicle I'm buying because they marked them all up. So I'm actually paying less. Well, you believe it or not, I'm actually spending less money in what is so many ways the black truck. And it gives me another work truck. And it gives me the electric vehicle. And I tell you, part of me, it'll sound stupid, but I mean, part of me doesn't want to let go of my electric vehicles, because if there ever was a major gas shortage, do you know how bad that's going to be? Do you know how much of a pain in the butt it's going to be to get gas? I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but get this. Who would imagine this morning that New York City, I should say White House Station, New Jersey, is where I used to live back in the 70s. Who would imagine that whatever time this morning, New Jersey would have a major earthquake? And in a major earthquake, that could bust up a major underground pipeline instantly. That would change the whole demographics of you getting gas at a gas station, especially up in this Northeast area. So part of me is like, man, I don't know. It's kind of nice to have an electric vehicle because you can still get around. And once again, I'm not wishing hardship on people to have to sit in line at a gas station. But you have to say in today's world anymore, who the heck knows? So I really am like, man, I just rather keep, and I live on the road. My business requires me to be on the road pretty much just about every day of the week. So I need transportation. And so for this, that's why I really have never been like, I really want to get rid of these cars because they have value to them on the what if. But the F-150 Lightning truck, for what I do, is fine. That truck works perfectly fine for me. Oh, what's going on down here? The person, this place here, it's a merry-go-round. Somebody goes in, moves in, sets up shop, gets all their stuff in there, and then after X amount of time, they move out because they never make any money. Then another person comes along and does the exact same thing. And then they move out. Then another person comes along, and then they move out. Wow, look at this here. What the heck are they doing to that place? That's crazy. Wow. Now that there, no, that's them there, isn't it? Huh, I don't know. So anyways, going to Koons Baltimore Ford. As we go to Koons Baltimore Ford, now here is the adaptive cruise. So I can set this. So I set it at 16, 17. So now this car is in the adaptive cruise. And it'll go to Blue Cruise. So I have this in the performance setting. So you have different drive modes in this Mustang Mach-E, which is really cool because you can go in here and you can change the way this vehicle drives. So you have Whisper, you have Engage, you have Unbridled. Unbridled is the one-pedal drive. The wife took that off, huh? That's interesting. Huh. I want that back on. I don't think the wife likes that. Where it brakes So that's interesting. I wonder why she did that. You know what? Who the heck knows? So this is the more aggressive performance riding right now. And so I'm trying to see here if this thing's going to do what I think it's going to do. So you let off the pedal, it automatically starts braking. So that's what one pedal driving means, is when you let off the accelerator pedal, the battery pedal, whatever you want to call it, it then helps brake the car. Now, right now, I can't remember since I've driven this car so long, does this have the automatic resume speed or take off again when somebody takes off? And so Ford has updated their technology. So see here, to resume, I have to push that button right there. So here's the thing. This car right now, I'm not even using the pedals because I'm on adaptive cruise control. Blue Cruise on, watch the roads. This is the next thing. This will then take over the steering, not here, but on an open highway where it's mapped. It'll then take over for the car to drive itself. But this thing then knows through all these cameras if I'm behaving or misbehaving. So once again, I have the performance mode. The Whisper is more about your going further. It's not as aggressive a drive. You're trying to get every bit of the range. Then you got the Engage, and then that's kind of the middle of the road, and then this is unbridled. It's kind of like the auto drive versus the sport mode versus the track mode in your ICE cars. So let me go back to the home screen, and I can get my Apple Play, which then pops up. And then the car, you can probably see the little infrared, all the stuff around here that's watching me right now. And to me, Ford, this is a cheesy look. I think Ford didn't do a good job on the look inside the vehicle. So now here we are. And if you're not the adaptive cruise person, you'll totally be flipping out right now that this car is not going to stop. And that's the thing. People are like, see, right now I have no hands on the steering wheel. I'm not using the brake or the accelerator, and the car is slowing down and speeding up on its own because it is an adaptive cruise. But it's telling me right now to get my hands on the steering wheel. So as far as heading to Koons Baltimore Ford, it's going to probably be a good hour drive to get there because I'm in the busiest time of day of traffic now, which is kind of unfortunate. But once again, I just don't feel like screwing with this tomorrow. I don't want to have to revolve my day around going to the dealership tomorrow. That's the goal. I got other things to take care of as we head up to Koons Baltimore Ford, and then this will be my third Lightning truck. You just hear me? This will be my third Lightning truck. Yeah, because I special ordered two F-150 Lightning trucks. And one came in, if you saw my video of 2022, the tow review, it was that silver blue that I didn't keep very long at all. And they gave me a bunch of money to give it back. Think that through. Back in the summer of 22 and through 22 year and even into 23. Is that right? It's just hard for me to believe. That can't be right. Was it? Yeah, summer 22. Yeah, wow. Yeah, so, time. So, I was able to give the truck back and get 10 grand put in my pocket. Yeah, I paid retail, but they paid me 10 grand over retail. That was when the truck first came out, and it was very stout, just like this Mustang Mach-E's. The last one I traded, I had a Grabber blue one. They gave me 64 grand for it. This one today, they're wanting to give me 32 grand for it. I think they're giving me more than that because I had them try to make the deal a lot more aggressive. When we get there, we'll find out the real numbers, but I know the deal's been approved. Do I accept it? I don't know why I wouldn't, but at the same time, I'm just taking assumptions. But yeah, that was the original number on this vehicle is $32,000 trade value. And here the White House secretary was just bragging about how these electric vehicles are selling like hotcakes and the values of them aren't depreciating. Yes, this was just on the news. I just saw this on the news just here before I actually jumped this car. So back to the third Lightning truck. So first one I got, I turned it back around, sold it. Then a good guy that worked for me many years was having a lot of difficulty with his vehicle breaking down and dumping money in it. So I felt for him. So I bought a black F-150 truck for him, primarily for him, not me. And in the end, he left my company. And so now the F-150 Lightning truck in so many ways is mine. Even though I probably wouldn't even bought it had it not been for him. But yet here I am now getting ready to buy a third Lightning vehicle. And I did have another Lightning truck ordered, but it never got built, and it got pushed until like the, I guess it was December of 2022. And I tried to do a deal down in Florida on my other one that I ordered, but Ford wouldn't buy the deal. And it was like full retail price. So in so many ways, I'm going back to 2022, and I'm just paying sticker, basically, in so many ways, and some ADM in so many ways for this truck, because the way it's so heavily discounted. I hear you. Now, if memory serves correctly, I traded in my wife's Ford Explorer Platinum 2021, I think. And we had a Ford Burgundy red Platinum Explorer, or Expedition. So I took the Expedition and the Explorer for this vehicle. So that was negative numbers that were put in this vehicle. But I really thought, you know, it's always you're thinking this for my wife. For one thing, I went from 2 payments to 1 payment. And then for the wife, it isn't going to be the fuel expenses of having to drive back and forth all the time and save her on money. And I just thought it was I just really liked the Ford Mustang Mach-E product per se. So I got this for her, only in the end for this vehicle to have 3,458 miles on it for 2 years later. And it just never is. So my wife, it's the anxiety challenge. When she goes to work, whoa, so this is where it gets like this right now. This car, you know, this thing definitely handled it well, but this came to like a total like lockdown. Yeah, I mean, no lie. Yeah, so yeah, it gets freaky even for me driving these cars, all this technology. Even for me, I'm like, yeah, wow. So anyway, so the wife, it was more about range anxiety, and what it was about is her going to work and then getting there, and then her boss wanting her to go drive somewhere to take care of business somewhere else. And my wife was always very concerned that she'd be stuck. So I just couldn't really overcome that for her. And the other thing is, what's so stupid in this vehicle, it has the summer performance tires. So in the winter months, if it's cold out and snowy, rainy, these tires aren't designed for that. Even though it's an all-wheel drive vehicle. It is so dumb. This thing should have all season tires. It doesn't. It has summer performance tires. So it's limited in the colder months to really being a car to drive if you have kind of, you know, lousy weather. Just incredible, right? I never did tint the windows in this car. My wife really does not like tinted windows because she has such a hard time. There we go. So let's see now. I just hit the reset button. Now does it go? Nope. Gotta do it. So here we go. The car is taking off on its own. And there we are. You know, I did some reviews on this car. When I first got all these electric vehicles, I did a lot of reviews on them. And I just go about a different way of how I give reviews on cars versus others. So I get that for anybody that watches my channel. I don't go into all this thorough detail, and I just get in them and start driving them and tell you the way it is. Just kind of how it is. As we get up the road here, which is going to be a long drive, even for me, it's like, oh man, what am I doing now? What am I getting myself into now, right? What's the Iceman get himself into now? It just doesn't end. I know. I get it. The one thing that I really feel in these electric vehicles, and especially this Mach-E, is the car has the effect of like going like this down the road. It like bounces along. It's like a wavy type of ride. And I think it's because of the battery pack in the vehicle that kind of radiates that. And regular cars, the ICE cars have that too, but I think it's a little bit more prominent in these batteries because of that battery that's just all the weight underneath the car from like wheel to wheel. So I think it just kind of gets that a unique type of ride to it. It kind of gives you that kind of like going down the road, like a chug-a-chug, a chug-a-chug-a-chug. And once again, these cars are very fast. I mean, if anybody out there asks me if they buy a Mustang Mach-E, I would get the California edition because it has a longer range. I mean, so this car here is just, wicked fast. I mean, this thing here, don't do it, dude. I already gave you a freaking shot to get in. So, I mean, is this thing wicked fast? It is. I mean, it just rocks. So, somebody says you buy a Mustang Mach-E, I'd be like, I would. I mean, I haven't really had any. So here it is, hands-free. So look at this here now. See here? So hands-free. Let's get now, if you get to a certain thing, if you get like over a certain speed, the hands-free used to turn off. You had a limit of how fast you could go. But look at this here. I mean, this thing here is just, look. I mean, when you get to these tractor trailers, though, it's freaky. You feel like you're going to drive in to the side of the tractor trailer. But you hear this thing? So you're hearing now is mostly the wind noise, but also you can hear the wheel motors. What they do is they give you in the Engage kind of a noise, a motor noise, to make this thing feel like it's a little bit more energized, a little bit more of the ice age, I guess. So, wow, I haven't driven this thing in a long time. Probably be like, nah, don't get rid of it. Don't get rid of it. But the thing is, it's just sitting in my driveway. It just doesn't, there's nothing there. Yeah, what else is sitting in my, I'm sure might be like, dude, how many other things are here? Well, I hear you, but you know what? It's a leftover 23 Ford Lightning truck that's optioned out really well. So that's the reason I'm doing this. 24s, they're cutting back. 24s are putting in cloth interiors. They're not putting extended range battery in. They're making them price trucks. So the 24s are like 20 grand less. They're like 60 grand trucks versus 80 grand truck. Well, I need the 80 grand truck to be able to pull off this, burying a ton of negative equity into another vehicle. That's all that's going to happen. And you can't do that in just any vehicle. So that's why this is very unique in the timing, because of the truck. I like the truck. I like the color of it. I like the package. I like the wheels on it. So this here, he just kind of starts locking down. Hands-free, man. It's pretty cool, right? I mean, it is. Danger is you'll fall asleep in this damn thing. I mean, it really is challenging once you get on a long road trip with these things. But this thing here, you're going to be stopping every 150 miles on the open highway. You'll just see this here, you'll see this evaporate. So now my hands really didn't tell me. Did you hear an alarm to tell me to put my hands back on the wheel? It didn't. That's the only thing I'm critical of these technology is it doesn't really keep you abreast to when the full self-driving. It's the Blue Cruise. But for the Tesla people, the full self-driving, it doesn't really alert you that it's turned off. It's very tricky. It's very dangerous in my eyes. That it doesn't make like a noise or something. So look at this here. So by the time I come back home, traffic probably will be lighting up. So I'm going to even get to Coonsville till 4 or 5 o'clock. I won't even be leaving there probably till 6:30. That'd be my guess. So, and I haven't ever turned off the Blue Cruise. So now I'm just trying to. And this thing here is so fast. See that there? And I got a guy up here, but he's here. Woo! Yeah. So the brakes are incredible. So anyway, turn it back on. Or can I? There it is. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a fun vehicle. I mean, it really is. It's a very sporty, fun car. And what's interesting is I don't remember this all being mapped. So I don't remember last time it came through here with the Blue Cruise would actually activate, because it's only mapped in certain areas. Yeah. Now this is a deal that my wife wouldn't even know this car disappeared. But for our YouTube channel, some certain people sometimes watch that would give my wife a heads up on this, but being this car is always parked on the other side of the property, you can't even see it. My wife wouldn't even know his car is gone. I mean, she wouldn't even know his deal goes down. And I'm not intentionally trying to shield it from her knowing about it, because to me it'd be like, I actually think that you'll enjoy the F-150 Lightning truck more than this, because you won't have the range anxiety. It's a bigger vehicle. You can do more with it. So, and it's the payment's the same. So, you know, I think it's a win. That's my position. One thing's for sure, they did a good job on the where you can put your phone. I think I like that. So it's kind of it does have a pretty good setup there. As we get up in the open road now, we start making some time here. Usually I'm coming the other way at this time of day.